Okay, so I think I went over my time limit again, so I apologize if I'm a little bit off balance here. But uh, I think we had just finished talking about a sequence of events, um, why it's important to understand the different types of books that are written, whether it's fictional or historical or what have you. So, yeah. Okay. I love that picture. Okay, so the third one is the point of view. So, again, this has a lot to do with context. It has a lot to do with um, looking through the eyes of the author or the people that are involved with the story and the progression. So, we don't have an exact um, time frame of when this book was written or the time in which the story is supposed to have taken in or taken place. But some of the themes of the book are pretty timeless in and of themselves, which is um, that sometimes good things and bad things happen to all people, regardless of where they stand or of how they live their lives. So sometimes bad things happen to good people, and sometimes good things happen to bad people. So, um, anyway, let me get back on track here. So some of the points of views to consider is how do things look from God's point of view, right? When you take into consideration that God is timeless, that He is perfect, how does His sense of justice jive with human sense of justice, especially in today's world? Oops. How do I go back? Oh no. Okay. Taking perspective from Job's point of view, from his wife, from his friends. What do you think his wife and friends were thinking about Job and like what he was going through? It didn't make any sense that somebody who was so good could be going through some things that were so bad, um, seemingly without divine intervention, which is exactly what was happening. But they couldn't understand exactly why. They could only assume that Job was in some kind of sin that they didn't understand. Taking into consideration the readers of that time, of the audience of that time, why, thinking about how this story would have been written to them, why it was written to them, and how about the audience of today? How does an audience of today take this story into perspective? So the point here is take as many perspectives as you can, and try to see it from every angle that you can. That's the point. Uh, see it from the fishy eyes. Okay, so when we do our due diligence, set that aside. When we do our due diligence and we do a biblical narrative, we get kind of this blueprint of the story, right? The book is 41 chapters, but we can get a good picture of what the story is actually trying to say on one page, right? You have the key aspects of the debate, of justice. We can separate it into a prologue. I can't see all the words on the page here, but we can take the big pictures. We can take the response from God to Job's arguments and questions, and then we have the epilogue here, which is what happens at the end of the story. What is the takeaway? What is the so what? We in each of these sections we have a bit of a setup to the story, and then we have these key questions. We have these key arguments, right? We have these horrible things are happening to Job. Job says, "I'm innocent. My suffering is not divine justice," which is what his friends would have seen it as. So there's two possible conclusions. Either God doesn't run the world according to justice, or God is unjust. Okay, those are pretty big conclusions. His friends say that God is just. They say that God runs the world according to justice, and that Job must have done something that we don't know about. Or you could say God is just. God runs the world according to justice. Suffering may be a way of warning to avoid future sin, because it builds character. Okay. So, this is the goal. This is the goal of a biblical narrative. This is what right looks like. And this is the assignment that you guys are going to be working on. That's going to be due. I'm not going to make it. I'm late getting this video out, so I'm not going to make it due until next Friday or Thursday, whichever comes first. But this is what I want you guys to focus on. I want you guys to download the assignment sheet. It's just going to have generalized questions, but I want you guys to go through and I want you guys to pick a book and diagram it to this extent. Okay. Hopefully this is a good introduction to biblical narratives for you guys. Don't forget to watch that YouTube video on Galatians. It does a great job of painting a picture and showing you kind of the approach that the Bible Project authors make when they do their biblical narratives. If you have any questions about anything that I've talked about today, or the homework assignment, or anything like that, please feel free to email me. My email will first I will be emailing you, so you'll have my email through that. But if you need it, it'll also be in the description of this video. So, I hope you all are doing well. I hope you guys are staying sane with the quarantine stuff that's still going on. And I hope you guys are able to grow closer to God through all this. That you guys are able to take the time to be still, to know that God is sovereign in all of this, and that that life goes on. So, have a great day, and I look forward to getting your guys' assignments. All right, take care.